If you've always wanted to live in a quiet neighborhood away from the hustle and bustle, and especially in the western region of Singapore, then you need to watch this video because I will help you analyze the Jurong West BTO at Jurong West Street 92 for the November 2021 BTO exercise this time round, and walk through the map analysis with you so that you don't have to. Hey guys, welcome back to Honey Money SG, and in this channel we are all about building financial knowledge, share money saving hacks, and also help you lead a fulfilling quality of life. So welcome back, brand new season of the BTO analysis, and if this is not the first time that you are seeing me for BTO videos, hello again. Alright, as usual, we'll go through two very important sources of data. Number one, HDB source of website. That is where the BTO information is displayed. At this point in time, for the pre-analysis, we definitely don't have a lot of information, but we'll just make do with what we have. And number two is the Google Maps. As long as we know the location, at least we can go and analyze the surroundings in terms of the amenities and the neighborhood to see what it offers and whether you really want to apply for that location. And if you have came here after you watched my official analysis video, then welcome, because I will take you through the location analysis that is not discussed in my official analysis video launched in November. So with all that said, let's go on to the sources of data. Let's go. Alright, so welcome to the HDB Jurong West November 2021 build to order page, and right now we are at the Jurong West project. For this project and the flat types and number of units, we have total of 220 units of 3-room and 4-room flats. So we don't have any 2-room flats or 5-room flats. Okay, and you can see from this site map, this is their official site map. It's really small, right? It's a really small site. This time round, we only can build 220 units of 3-room and 4-room flats. So don't expect to have like a big mega BTO projects like in Tengah where they can house like 2,000 units. Alright, let's address the elephant in the room, which is transportation. Your nearest MRT station is at Pioneer MRT, and if you look at this distance, it's definitely not walking distance, even though the map looks like it's really small, right? But I can assure you, when we get to the Google map, it's definitely not walking distance. You have to take a bus there. We'll look at the distance later, and let's take a look at the site analysis. We have a Chinese temple just right next to your BTO project. So for those people who may be sensitive to religious beliefs, then you may not want to pick a unit that's facing a Chinese temple. Just pick it in other directions. Okay, we have a proposed health and medical care, which is a new facility built at this Jurong West Street 91, just across the road. So very good, at least you have a healthcare facility. If you need to see a doctor, you need some medical consultation, that's all within neighborhood walk. Okay, and most important, you also have an NTUC health nursing home. So for the elderly, if you need some senior citizens care by qualified medical professionals, and then you'll know that Jurong West BTO is maybe where you want to buy your flat in so that you can retire nicely here. And if you need some attention to medical care, then it's just right next to you, right? Nursing home. We also have Nanyang Community Club and Neighbourhood Center right here within the vicinity. We have a church. We have a few primary schools here, Xingnan Primary School, Juying Primary School, and Juying Secondary School. We also have another proposed place of worship, so that's a religious place. And we have the Yunnan Garden, so we'll take a look at that later. Here is some water, which is drainage. And very importantly, we have Jurong West Sports Center. So they have like a nice gym and swimming pool and running track. So if you want to do your exercise and workout, you'll be glad to know that it is within walking distance, so you don't have to travel too far out. We also have a small park at this area, and later we'll cover what is over here. Right, this is a very important place. In terms of major shopping mall, you don't have any within walking distance. I think the nearest one will be at Boon. That's where Jurong Point is. Okay, Jurong Point will have your big supermarket, Fair Price Extra, your bus interchange, your movie theater, and then a lot of big restaurants and fast food options. But otherwise, you can see that this Pioneer / Jurong West region is like a small quiet neighborhood on its own, with its own amenities. But you are in a far-flung western area of Singapore, so it's considered quite ulu for your other friends who may be living in the central or the east area to come by. Okay, and if you want to see this Pioneer Mall, it's really not a shopping mall. It's more like a neighborhood shopping facility that has giant supermarket and of course a Koufu food court. And this Jurong West Hawker Center, I've been there. They are one of the nicest hawker centers, but it's closed because the business is so bad, right? Nobody actually goes there to eat. see, maybe they don't have really good businesses, but that's out of context, so I won't discuss here. You also have a park connector here that you can jog along, and then you can reach the other parts of the park connector that's along the drainage reserve, the Jurong West drainage reserve. And then over here at the southern area, that's where your dormitories and your industrial areas will be at, the international road area. So nothing much to cover for this, so let's take a look at the Google Maps. Okay, so taking a look at the Google Maps, your Chinese temple is here, Jingfu Gong Temple, and then your BTO site is here. If you look at the satellite image, here is what it is. You have your NTUC Health, Jurong West Nursing Home over here, your Jingfu Gong Temple, and then your green patch of land, bare land that's going to build your 3-room and 4-room flats in the Jurong West BTO for November 2021. And then you have this little bus stop right here that goes to Pioneer MRT. If we take a look of how to go to the nearest MRT, okay, this will be the bus you'll be taking, bus 241. Bus 241 will lead you to Pioneer MRT. Okay, but it's like taking a big loop, you can see. So it's really inconvenient if you're not driving, because even the bus takes a few stops to go to the nearest MRT. And if you take the opposite direction, then it's a bit better lah. But if you are taking from the MRT to your home, then it's really a big loop. So really quite inconvenient for those people not driving. Okay, but you can see at least you are really near this kind of amenities, right? Like food court, like the community club, like Prime Supermarket where you can do your groceries, and then some of the healthcare facility like private hawker centers. And I don't think this is a hawker center. I think this is more like a kopitiam, because I never see any hawker center this kind of shape, man. Unless you live there. If you live in the Jurong West region, just comment down below what is this. I don't believe there's a hawker center here. And then remember that proposed healthcare facility that they talk about is built over here. Then it will be built at this here, right? This bare piece of land. Why is there a ban mian store in the center of the road junction? I think this is just a prank, okay? Someone please go and remove this ban mian store in the middle of the road. It's not supposed to be there. Okay, and then we talk about some religious places, right? We have City Harvest Church, we have Jingfu Gong Temple, and most importantly, when you want to buy this flat, right, you'll have high rental value. You know why? Because you are so near to one of the leading universities of Singapore, which is Nanyang Technological University, which is my alma mater as well. So this is the main gateway to NTU. So if you are a student and you want to live near NTU, right, and you cannot get dormitory halls and you want to rent, then I think these places along Pioneer MRT are your best bet. And even staying in this BTO, right, you can walk over to Nanyang Technological University. How? You can see this is an overhead bridge. Okay, I kid you not, because I studied in NTU before. This is an existing overhead bridge. Okay, let's see the satellite image. You see, here is the overhead bridge connecting NTU to the housing estate, right? Let's go back. Yeah, so over here you have your Xingnan Garden at NTU. Now that's a different Xingnan Garden that we talked about just now. This is the old Xingnan Garden. Okay, Xingnan Garden is more like a private estate. That's where your terrace houses and your semi-D houses for the rich people stay. But this is the official Xingnan Garden at NTU. So early morning you will see a lot of senior citizens doing Tai Chi exercise down there, doing their morning exercises and their morning dances at Xingnan Garden NTU. Really nice garden, you know. And if you don't mind, then you can also travel to their canteen and then have some cheap student food. But I don't think it's cheap anymore, because when I last left NTU like 5-6 years ago, it's already not cheap compared to NUS. But that's not the topic of the day, so we'll skip that. Oh, and also I want to talk about the Jurong West Sports Hall, right? So I used to come here. There's a public gym here under the Active SG Sports Center. So I think you pay like $3 for a single entry ticket and you can just gym there, which is really good and cheap, right? And then you have your swimming complex, which I think you pay around $2. And there are even water slides there, okay? I kid you not. There are water slides there that you can rent floats and then bring your kid there for swimming. Really nice place, right? And you have a running track here for Jurong West Stadium, okay? If you look at this satellite image. Yeah, so here is the slide that I talked about. Image not very clear, but I can assure you there are slides, water slides that you can bring your kid there. So really, it's one of the best places and underrated places to really exercise and bring your family for a good workout. Yeah, so with this small town, there's really not much to be said. Your existing amenities are all within this Nanyang Community Club area, and it's really away from the hustle and bustle, right? Because you're not near the main road. Pioneer Road North is not really considered a main road, although there are a lot of vehicles passing by. And you see, you are just living along this slip road of Jurong West Street 92. So your streets will be really quiet, okay? If you want to have a really quiet environment, then just take this Jurong West BTO, I think you won't have all the noise from the vehicles. But the bad news is you are really far away from everywhere. Okay, even from your nearest MRT station, you need to take like so many bus stops away to have the shuttle bus to your nearest Pioneer MRT and even Boon interchange to reach your nearest major shopping mall. So let's not even talk about traveling to the central, Singapore Central, like Orchard area to meet your friends. It'll be like at least 1 hour to 1.5 hours to reach there. And that's why they say you need to bring your passport when you're past Jurong East. But you know what's the good news? It means your housing estate will be really affordable, right? Because of the inconvenient location. So really you have to weigh the difference between your cost versus the time saved and see which one is a good balance for you. Alright, so this is really my short analysis of the Jurong West BTO for November this time round. And if you have found value in my analysis, do comment a thank you in the comments. I'll greatly appreciate it, and let's get back to the video. Alright, so I hope that little map analysis has helped you to gain a little bit of understanding around the Jurong West estate, and let's see about the price estimate. So I will be referencing to the August BTO 2021, which is Toh Guan Grove at Jurong East, and then take reference from there. Now, as you may know that Jurong East and Jurong West are quite distant apart, so I will expect Jurong West prices to be a little bit cheaper than Jurong East prices at Toh Guan Grove last time. And hence for the 3-room flats, I'm forecasting the price range between 210 to 270,000 Singapore dollars. And for 4-room flats, I'm forecasting between the range of 320 to 420,000 Singapore dollars. Of course, just take these prices as a guesstimate only because we only know the official prices at the official launch in November. And let's have a name guess for fun. I'm going to call it Jurong West Beacon because it's quite far flung from the Jurong West Central area, right, which is at Boon. So let's call it Jurong West Beacon and see how close am I. Alright, so I hope all this BTO analysis has helped you in planning for your BTO application. And please remember to help me like this video at the bottom. It just takes 1 second for you to do it. And consider subscribing to my channel if you have found my BTO and Singapore property content useful. Also, do join us over at the Honey Money Telegram community group right here at this link. My name is Christopher. This is Honey Money SG, steering young adults to financial independence.